You know, it's funny. Every time I walk in here, I think about Mr. Rogers. Occasionally I'll have that song go through my head. Won't you be my neighbor? Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. That show was in my childhood a lot. I took our puppy Vincent for a walk. We have 3 dogs. Did I mention that? I mentioned my memory's not all that great. Yeah, I'm going to mention lots of things over and over and over again, especially if I start telling jokes. Just ask my kids. This morning was beautiful outside. Took Vince for a walk. He's less than a year old. I think he's a Beagle mix. Very, very A.D.D puppy. Squirrel! He's all over the place. Got this wonderful thing in my mailbox the other day. It says, can you see that? Happy Tell a Friend They're Awesome Just Because Day. Got that from a bunch of people at church for the live stream stuff that I've been doing. Although I've not been doing it alone. I've been getting help from Josh and Sam and the other Josh and Cody and Matt and Caleb have been doing the soundboard side. Audio is huge in live stream, especially in a church service. Who is the famous director that said audio is 90% of your film? It's true. You could have awesome visuals, but if your audio is terrible, you've lost your audience. And we've had moments where we lost our audience because our audio, we didn't have it right on our side. The people running the soundboard had it great coming to us, but we didn't have it great going out. That's the beauty of doing volunteer work, to learn your stuff. You learn there are certain things that are really important and other things that are not quite so important. When you're first learning anything, there's the basics. It needs to be in focus, it needs to be bright enough or dark enough, and it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be this beautiful thing that's, ready for cinema quality. The vast majority of these people are going to be watching this stuff on a handheld device. They need to be able to hear it, need to be able to see in general what's there without either audio or visual being really annoying. So the first step is to get to the point where your production quality is good enough to not distract from your story. Story is the most important thing.
Fencing, fighting, torture.
I say that, and yet when I vlog, these things are kind of rambling and a bit all over the place. But hopefully there's some semblance of story as I put these things together. The story really only needs to have a basic beginning, a basic middle, and a basic end. The rest of it inside of there is really just icing on the cake. So I'm learning these things. I didn't know half of this stuff a year ago. Let's see, a little over a year ago, I didn't even have a decent camcorder. Now, thanks to a small inheritance from my grandfather, we've been able to build out an entire studio of video equipment so that we can help to collect people's stories and share them with the world. Since then, I've been able to do a couple dozen interviews and a ton of live stream, open mic night. I've done some live music stuff. I've done some traveling to go and do interviews. Really have enjoyed all of this process of honoring legacies. It's a lot of fun. Trying to think of other things that we've done. Oh, we've done some sort of day in the life type stuff. Family going to Incredible Pizza. A vlog on Ben and I going to Guitar Center because he wanted to look at some stuff. So I just brought the camera along. In fact, I brought just my iPhone along with and brought it on a little gimbal, kept it stable. And then I've just put a little bitty tripod thing on the bottom of it so that I could set it down in various places, get neat little shots. And then I added some music to it later and just did whatever felt like fun. A lot of it was borrowing techniques from other people that I'd seen on other videos that I like. And yes, you're going to see techniques from people like Peter McKinnon and Casey Neistat and lots of others that are out there. I so appreciate this video I watched again yesterday from Peter McKinnon. I think it's titled, I Am Not Peter McKinnon. In that, Peter talks about the fact that it saddens him when people are hating on other people saying, oh, you're just copying so-and-so. And the truth of the matter is, the vast majority of people, including myself, we're not copying anybody. We are using techniques like Peter says, we're using techniques that they have taught us. If we were copying it exactly, and I'm reiterating his video, you should go watch it. I'll link it somewhere in, I don't know how to link things yet, but I'll figure out how to link it or put it in the comment. Anyway, Peter McKinnon's, what did I say it was called? I Am Not Peter McKinnon. He says in there that you could copy someone completely, and he uses the American Idol judges critique example of if you copy someone completely, you just did exactly what the original artist did. But when we use techniques of someone else's because we like them. We like their flow. We like their way of cutting, their way of getting different angles. Like, I'm getting different angles right now. I'll talk at some point about how these different angles I'm getting are all done by using a tool called SlingStudio. And in fact, behind me here, up there, right there on the, that's the SlingStudio hub right there. And I'm using that and some Galaxy S6 phones for the cameras that I'm doing right here. So it makes my production style, my production capability. I enjoy watching it, so hopefully other people will too. Hopefully my kids, my grandkids in the future will look at this and go, hey, that was kind of neat what great-great-grandpa Joe did with this. Can't imagine thinking of myself as a great-great-grandpa. I'm only 45. I'm not an old man yet. What is this? I guess that's some sort of cane or something. I don't know. Oh, I know. I'm thinking of Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke's old man that he played in there. You put your tuppence in the bank. Yeah. Goofy. What was I saying? I was just saying I love the different styles that are out there, and I'm definitely borrowing from those styles. But the funny thing about people that like to troll is most of them don't create anything. And so it's safe to troll when you're not putting anything out there for someone else to critique, but it's lazy. Get out there and create something. Later on today, I have lunch with a good friend, Neil. Haven't seen him in a while. We did a vlog with Neil not too long ago. He's a really huge Star Wars fan. Maybe we'll talk to him a little bit today about the topic of people posting comments about disparaging things. Maybe we'll talk with him about that.